PHS, and they are going to have a track meet here in a few hours. It actually, we were just talking, it's
day.
actually colder
Yeah.
than the last time we did this.
It's a great day for really to show off our facility. I love this place. We're just walking down here a couple blocks every day. It's just amazing to really just appreciate what the community has provided and seeing our kids getting a lot of use out of this. So look forward to being here later this afternoon to watch and cheer on our kids.
Do you know what you're going to be working? What part of the high jump?
I'm a rake the long jump pit guy. I've done that that's kind of my job. So
okay. Well,
yeah,
everybody has a role, superintendent and the raker.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, we had a pretty exciting thing happen about 2 weeks ago, a little less than 2 weeks ago. Senator Ron Wyden came here, PTS, toured the school. How about that? What was that like?
Yeah, that was a special treat for us. I mean, we've been working with his office, and they wanted to come here for to hold a town hall at our new facility for a while, and it finally worked out in his schedule and our schedule. And it's just great to have, one of 100 senators that are making decisions in our country to be able to come and talk to our kids in our community. And so always love showing off, like I said before, this amazing space and facility, and it's just a great opportunity to ask a senator a question and have them respond to it. And so we started off with a tour, highlighted the CTE programs, everything. I introduced him to a student who did a documentary, PBS NewsHour story on the Almeda fire, and he offered him an internship on the spot. So that was kind of fun to recognize that talent and the dedication it takes to put something like that together.
And Senator Wyden pointed out that that's not the first time or even the second time or even the third time. He's been here a few times now.
Yeah, he has, and especially with just the need we've had with the fires but he has a goal of doing a town hall every year in every county, and we were happy to host it. What a special treat was on his staff now that runs our local office is America Silva, who's a PHS grad and
class of 2012.
Yep. The first time she got to walk through the new school again, so that was a special treat to have her teacher see her again in her new role, and what an honor to be able to be in that position to serve our community.
Yeah, looks just great for PHS to have somebody in that role.
Absolutely.
Just doing what she loves.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a little before that that we hosted the Future Chefs Challenge, the only school, actually the only district I think in Southern Oregon to host that this year by Sodexo. They had to fill out this form, and they had to have a recipe, they had to have a plan, and so we selected 8 kids, Sodexo did, and they came over here and did their thing in our amazing culinary kitchen.
Yeah, that was actually an exciting 4 days. It was actually that following Monday we did that Future Chef competition, and it's been a long-standing tradition in our district. COVID and the pandemic and some challenges paused it for a few years, but it's a great opportunity for elementary kids to kind of show off their cooking talent or get into the interest of cooking. We have an amazing culinary arts facility here, so we hope to spur that interest when they come to the high school to be in, learn everything about culinary and be interested in that career technical education program. So Natalie Flores from PES was a winner.
Right,
She's a 4th grader, so she could repeat as champion possibly next year.
Right?
But it's just a great event, and we had a ton of family members from each student there. And Sodexo is such a great partner. Amy, who serves our district from Sodexo, is just dedicated to making sure they provide experiences for kids. And like you mentioned, we were the only district locally to actually have that event. Many of others have done it in the past, but we were committed to having that this year.
I loved how they introduced the PHS facilities and the PHS teacher, hey, this is where you're going to be in a few years, and this is something you're interested in. This is who you're going to be working with, and they just really, brought in that element to it to just heighten the excitement for the kids.
Well, and we talk about we're recovering from a pandemic and a tough time in education, and anytime we can spark that engagement at a young age to say, hey, this is what you have to look forward to. This is a great activity, and getting kids, elementary kids or middle school kids on our campus, it just reignites that flame of education.
Yeah. One thing we wanted to talk about, our affiliation now with paper. It allows our high school students, we have it just at the high school now, to access tutors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a really unique thing. We're the first district in Oregon to do this, and we've seen the numbers, and we know that kids are using this service. How about that? Wait, tell the story about how this came to be here. Well, I'll let you tell it, but I believe it was at a conference in December when at a conference in December.
It was a unique conference. One of the most unique ones I've been to is where I got to kind of dictate what I wanted to learn from this conference, and they paired professional development and vendors of possibly those products with that conference. So one of the important things coming into this year and coming out of a pandemic is really lost learning and providing opportunities for students to talk with professionals and gain access and really get help with their work. And Paper is a tutoring company that has tutors all around the world, and we started discussions with that, and at that time I didn't realize we'd be the first one in Oregon, but we worked out a good deal with them. The high school is really excited about the English department right when the senior papers and junior papers are due.
The timing was pretty good.
The timing is great to get additional support. Really, there's a 15-second response time when you click in and get a tutor. They have Spanish speaking tutors as well. It's just, we'll see in a couple months how impactful it's been, but we've had pretty good participation in certain curriculums, especially for the teachers that have really sold that. So I encourage families, parents to ask their child if they've heard of that tutoring services. I know as a parent myself, there could be times where my child is asking about a math problem or something to how to complete a math, whatever it may be. And that's sometimes tough for families, especially not being in that class every day. But that's where a paper tutor could come in and say, hey, what do you know? Do you know where to start the problem? Yeah. What do you think you might do next? And it's not doing the problem for them, it's really asking those questions and being an additional resource for the teacher.
Yeah, I think it was in maybe 8th or 9th grade when my oldest reached the point where I couldn't help him anymore. He asked me for help, I couldn't help him, and we went to a tutor. So yes, that's an amazing resource to have.
Yeah, and we're piloting, and you might be a middle school parent or an elementary parent. You might say, oh my gosh, where's that for my child? We're piloting right now. It does come at a cost, but we're leveraging the benefit with the funding and see how we can continue to partner that in the future.
Okay. And the last thing we wanted to talk about was our first, our community care team for the first time this year. Hopefully we'll bring it back again. Had a health fair.
Health and
wellness,
yeah.
Yes. It was at PES on Saturday, and it was well received. We had about 250 people showed up.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest challenges when you organize an event is getting vendors or getting partners to show up. Right. And there were over 40 partners that had tables there with tons of resources, tons of access.
That's great.
And that was huge. Then the next challenge is, oh my gosh, I hope people show up. And there was a steady trickle of people coming in, and definitely a nice day for it, and tons of benefit for just families, kind of giveaway stuff, but there's also families that our community care coordinators really invited families to say, hey, this is kind of one-stop shopping for some of these services, and get connected, and that'll pay dividends down the road.
Are we going to bring that back, you think, next year?
It's definitely gonna. We got great feedback from our vendors. Okay. We got tremendous feedback from the participants that came, and so we want to have it as an annual event. I imagine it'll get bigger. and even better. But for a first annual, you know, usually those take a few years to get going. It was a huge success.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I think that was the last thing. Do we have anything else? Anything else you can think of off the top that you want to throw in there before we're done wrapping this up?
I think the only thing is this year is flying by.
Sure is.
I was just thinking our last loop with the Supt was, you know, over a month ago, and it's just you know, we had spring break in there, but just encouraging everybody to finish strong. We know there's a lot of things going on in the lives of our kids and our families and our staff. But we are all in this together, and looking forward to finishing on a high note as we get to June.
Graduation right here.
Yep.
June 10th, right? I believe it's June 10th, second Saturday of June. Very exciting. Hopefully it'll be a little warmer than...
I would say it'd have been warmer by now, so I'm not guaranteeing anything.
You never know with Southern
as far as
Oregon.
the weather.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll put links in the right below the video to some of the things that we talked about.
Sounds good.
Have a good
Thanks.
day.